Who handed you the phone?
A young woman.
What did she say when you asked for the number to unlock the phone?
Essentially, she avoided the question.
My daughter is a troubled kid. If I could put a return label that says broken, I would ship her ass back, but I can't. She's mine.
Oh, wow. You are suing for damages. $533 on Taco Bell, Wendy's $249, Denny's $174. You're having him pay for all your other meals.
Plaintiff Teresa Kerekes is suing the defendant for $453 for scamming her 17-year-old son with a non-working iPhone. Defendant Bobby Joe Alm says the plaintiffs are going after the wrong person, and she claims she didn't have anything to do with selling the useless iPhone.
This is case number 158 on the docket, Kerekes versus Alm.
Let's see what we have here. We have the plaintiff, Ms. Kerekes. You are suing the defendant, Ms. Alm, for $453 for the fraudulent sale of an iPhone and service fee. And you, young man, are?
Joshua Kerekes.
Joshua, you're her son?
Yes.
Okay, and if I might ask how old you are?
17 years
17,
old.
which is why Mom's here. Okay,
Yeah.
Tell me your story and then I'll get to you.
My son needed a new iPhone for work,
Yes.
for school, to keep in touch with me. He got on Let Go, found one for sale, made arrangements with the defendant over here.
Yes.
I'm not the one that sold him the phone.
You were the one that was in the car.
I was not. It was my child who you went and met inside the store. It was not me.
No, it was definitely you.
And are
Okay,
you
inside the
Your
sure
car.
Honor,
you're
I think you asked
17
me
to
Okay,
look
all right.
I think you asked me
Okay,
the
I'm going to
question.
get you in a second. I'll get you in a
Yeah.
second.
That's common.
You're saying your
We
son
bought
wanted
a
to...
phone off of somebody named Bobby Joe Alm, and that person said that they have an iPhone for sale. They agreed to meet my son at a public place.
Yes.
My son did all of his due diligence. He checked to make sure he had the IMEI number so it would work with our provider.
Your Honor, I have the ad right here that says Bobby Alm.
That's funny because when I asked your mother to text it to me, she wouldn't send it to me.
Okay, but
She
anyway,
never
that's
asked
your
me
name.
that.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
I'm going to give you a chance to answer.
So he agreed to meet her at a place. She changed the place. He agreed to go to the new place.
Your Honor, since I'm 17, I don't really have a whole lot of money to go off and buy a brand new phone. So
Yes.
I messaged her to buy a used one. She asked to meet at a Walmart, and 5 minutes before I left, she said, can we meet at a Family Dollar instead? And so I left to go to the Family Dollar. I sat there for probably 30, 40 minutes, and I texted her. She said, oh, my phone died, okay? So she finally
And
came
it was
back
her
over.
in the car. She
was
said
her.
it wasn't
Okay, all right,
her.
all right.
Okay, and
At
it
this
was
point, I
me
don't
in
need to
the
know
car.
that. Go ahead.
She showed me the phone. I asked her if it was unlocked. She said everything's perfectly fine with it, you know?
Who said that?
The daughter.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
so
right,
all
the
right.
daughter.
So tell me about this car that showed up with the phone. Who was in the car?
Oh, she was driving the car. She was
okay,
driving her
and
daughter
who
or
else
something
was in the
like that.
car? We'll get to that in a second. Who else was in the car?
It was two
You're
younger
taking too long.
women.
Younger women or girls?
Girls.
Are you sure they were girls or were they young women?
They were teenagers.
Oh, were
Okay,
they?
two
Are
of
you
the young
sure?
women.
Are you-
Okay,
you're
stop
serious?
talking to each other.
I'm sorry.
So you're saying there was a woman there and two teenagers?
No, her.
I am a woman. What do I look like? I have a.
You look like a young
Just
girl.
stop it.
And you look like you're 70.
You're not helping your case.
directly to the
Okay.
judge.
When the car showed up, I want
Well-
the scene. There's a
Okay.
woman driving the car. We'll get into later who's the woman driving the car, which may be irrelevant, by the way.
Your Honor, I didn't actually meet them at the car. I got a weird text that says, hey, can you come into the store
Okay,
and
so
do
you're in the
this?
car. Did you communicate with two girls?
Yes, inside the store.
Who handed you the phone?
A young woman.
Did you give the $400?
Yes, I did.
Okay, that's the transaction I'm trying to get to. You then say what to her?
I asked for the IMEI number previous so that I could check it and make sure it was all fine. I asked if it was unlocked to make sure that it would work with my carrier. And I have the
What
proof.
did she say when you asked for the number to unlock the phone?
Essentially, she avoided the question. She said she'd get it for me, and then
Oh, so she
never-
didn't have the number right then?
In order for a carrier service to actually get like a service on
Yes.
it wouldn't allow me to do it because she still owed payments on the phone.
Right, because the phone was stolen and I reported it stolen. So how is that my fault?
You just
And
said
you've
your
never
daughter
met
sold
me
the
a day
phone.
in your life, you or your mother.
If it was
But yeah,
stolen,
you
I
want to
You said
stand
you
here.
didn't sell the phone.
Okay,
You just
okay.
now said
I never sold the phone. Was it me? Did you see me?
I know you're upset about that, but that may not be relevant. These girls, or the girl that handed him the phone, we need to establish she had the phone, and the phone was initially registered to you.
Right.
According to your answer, this girl was your daughter.
Yes.
Or is your daughter.
Yes.
Okay. So your liability here, if there is, I haven't made a judgment yet, but if there's liability, what I'm saying, what you guys are arguing about may be irrelevant because you are responsible for the behavior of a younger daughter. So he shows up, your daughter shows up, whoever drove her, your daughter shows up, your daughter hands what turned out to be a phone that is in your name.
Right.
You must have been told, what you're saying is you were told that that phone had been stolen.
From a park, and like any normal working mom, I reported it stolen.
So you initially believed it was stolen, and that's why you did what
Right.
any parent would do, because you wouldn't want the bill run up.
Right. My daughter is a troubled kid. She has trauma, and I can't help that. I tried to make it right, but when you want to be disrespectful and come at me like I'm incompetent, which I am clearly not, then why should I pay you this money? There should be another way of her paying back that money, whether it's doing yard work, community service for something. Why do I have to be held responsible for everything that my daughter does? If I
Okay.
could put a return label that says broken, I
Yeah.
would ship her ass back, but I can't. She's mine.
Oh, wow, this is your daughter.
Wow. What kind of
I love her.
parents
What
Okay.
kind of parent are you? You hold your son's hand?
I don't have
Oh,
to.
you don't?
Because he doesn't get in that kind of
Oh,
trouble.
because you're from the
All right,
higher
ladies,
end of
ma'am,
Canton,
Okay.
right?
go back.
Higher class, excuse me.
How old is your daughter?
She's 14,
She's
and
a
she's
teen-
bipolar.
She's not here because,
She's on house arrest for 190 days right now,
okay. All right.
which I had to pay $500 a month for that, too.
Okay. So, all right. Let's, instead of attacking each other on this, let's understand that's a difficult situation. Your son could be like that, too. He's not.
I
Okay.
would beg to differ on that, Your Honor. He seems a little slow, too.
Oh, by the way, were you driving the car? Don't lie to me.
No, I won't lie.
noticed-
I had just had to pick up my daughter from shoplifting at
Yeah.
Walmart, where they were supposed to meet, and then she said that her family member was at the dollar store and wanted to stop and see them. So I pull up, had no idea she was going to sell the phone. None. I still owe money on this phone.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yes, I was driving the vehicle.
Everyone take a deep breath. You're upset. I understand why you're upset, because you bought a phone that doesn't work, and I'm going to deal with that legally.
I actually offered for her to make us payments.
I offered that.
Okay, let her talk now.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
offered for her to make payments.
Oh, did you?
I offered also for her just to give us the court filing fee and get the phone working for us. We also offered for her to just give us the unlock code because she had told us it was unlocked prior to making the purchase before
I
we
never
even
did. It
ever
was my
went.
daughter.
Okay, so here's my question then. Why not just get...
Your Honor, they sent
They
me
paid the
over-
money. They paid the
ahead.
money. Is there a way to rectify this where you just turn the phone on and then the whole thing's said?
I would have to pay off the phone in order to do that, which I still owe almost $400. But that's not, she's standing here acting like this in front of you, but I have over 100 text messages that states, oh, my son's bugging me. Just call T-Mobile, tell him it wasn't stolen. I'm not gonna lie.
Well,
It was.
It wasn't
It
stolen.
was.
I paid you my $400.
You can't call in and tell them that it's not stolen. To my understanding, at the time, it was stolen. So even to have it unlocked, your mother, which I have had zero communication with you, still wanted the court filing fees. She still,
it's still
wanted me
money
to
that
unlock
we're out of
it. But
either
it's
way.
not. I'm out of money too. Do you know I'm out of thousands of dollars because of my kid? Okay,
Well, you're
Okay,
but
but-
I'm not.
responsible for your child,
Oh,
but
and your mom's responsible for you.
All
So
right.
maybe she should have been there
Okay.
and held your hand while you bought a
Okay,
phone.
but, okay, this is not to have you guys just argue with each other. You're in a court of law now, and there has to be a judgment made about what the responsibility is. And you're saying there is no way now to get that phone turned on.
No.
Okay, they gave your daughter $400 for something that doesn't work. So they are entitled to be compensated,
Compensated.
get their money back. If a child breaks the law and causes
Right.
damage and knows that what she's doing is wrong,
Right.
which she obviously did.
Just like I told the
They
court,
don't, and that's the
I'm
point
not
I'm coming
paying
to.
for my kids.
That's well under the law you have
And
to.
that's
That's
okay.
the
But
law.
I'm not paying them because they don't want to show me where it was me that they talked to,
Okay.
supposedly.
You are
but
responsible.
I want my phone, then I want the phone back. If they're getting reimbursed the $400, then I want the phone. That's only right.
Do you have the phone?
Right here.
Hand her the phone.
Thank you.
And I am ruling that you need to give them back $453.
And that's fine, Your Honor. Thank
From this point on, I'll be more careful when going on buy-sell trade apps and websites.
you. Teresa, I just want to let you know that it's time to cut the umbilical cord. Your son is 17, and it's time that he's a man now.
Plaintiff Terrence Isaac is suing for $5,000 for damages to his lifestyle, fast food, and trips to the grocery store resulting from a car crash. Defendant Charles Isaac says the accident was entirely the plaintiff's fault, and he doesn't owe him anything.
Case 116 on the docket, Isaac versus Isaac.
You're not related?
No, we're not.
Just coincidentally, same names. All right. The plaintiff, Mr. Isaac, you are suing the defendant, Mr. Isaac, for $5,000 for a down payment on a new car and damages. What is this about?
I was on my way to work November of last year,
Yes.
and Charles cut me off going into the plaza, and there was a speed bump there. The driver hit that speed bump. He sat on that speed bump. I honked my horn, hit the brakes to kind of alert this person that I'm trying to avoid this accident. He had enough time to get out of the way and move. He sat there the entire time, so my vehicle hit his vehicle because his vehicle was blocking oncoming traffic at that point.
I tell you what, why don't you go up here if you don't mind?
I was looking straight ahead at what was going on ahead of me, and I didn't expect this person to cut me off to go into that plaza. I had right of way, so I figured, hey, I should be fine. I can keep going. I'm going 30 miles per hour. This person sees me. He hasn't used any signals to indicate that he's turning, slowing down, or anything like
What
that.
was the speed limit in that?
30 miles per hour. I live near a school zone, so it's set at 30 miles per hour.
Well, school zone is 20 miles an hour in your state.
Yes.
All right, let's hear from you.
No problem.
So I'm headed to work. Before this street, there's actually a four-way stop on this side of the street, and this is the very next turn. So this is probably like, let's just say 200, 300 feet from the four-way stop.
Yeah.
So I don't even, when I turn on this street, I can't even get to 30 miles an hour. As I notice, though, as I'm turning, I see a car speeding, and so I stop. I stop right there because I gave him enough room to be able to swerve. As you can see,
not
there was
true
other
at
pictures.
all.
There's a lot of room
Not true.
right here.
And what part of your car was hit? Do we have pictures?
Just right here, the right front bumper, right there.
If you were totally covering that road, you would have hit more than just the very front bumper.
So I actually did hit the side of the vehicle. I did not hit the front bumper of that vehicle. I hit the side.
Where are the pictures?
So he fled before I could get those pictures because I was asking him to wait for local law enforcement to arrive. He refused to wait for local law enforcement because he gave me insurance that was 2 years old.
I never
and his name
fled.
is not listed on that vehicle as well.
I
Were
never
you
fled.
there when the police came?
He never called the police. This is my job.
You what?
This is my job.
That's your job.
This is my job. So this happened right, I probably was working here 30 days when this happened.
Okay.
So I'm still trying to, I was even in the temp service. So,
Yeah.
you know, I'm trying to get my good graces. I drive trucks. So I'm very aware of the road. And like I said, it's 30 mile an hour road. I'm just turning into work. I never fled. Never once
you're
fled.
doing.
I told him anytime he wanted to come see me, I'm there every
All right.
day, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m.
Okay, you can go back. And you're saying you hit the side of his car?
Yes, I hit the rear passenger side of the vehicle because that was the part of the vehicle that was sticking out into the road, and that was blocking oncoming traffic heading north. So there was
So
no way to go around.
you're saying you didn't hit the front of the car at all. You hit the back of the car.
That is correct.
And the amount you're suing for, you have here, you're saying $1,000 because you want to buy a new car.
Yes, because I completely lost
What happened to your car?
So it was completely totaled.
Where's pictures of your car?
I have pictures of all of that. So there's the first picture of my vehicle that got totaled. So I asked for help. He didn't help me pull that vehicle out of traffic. I had to get help to get that vehicle out of traffic because we exchanged information.
You see
After we exchanged
it's on the
information,
side of the road.
we got that information. Someone was telling him, oh, you can leave, get out of here. And I was like, no, I already called the cops. Please wait for the cops to show up. He got into his vehicle. peeled out before I could take any pictures.
Where did I go?
I was kind of disoriented. He popped a little wheelie and went up right out of the road.
Popped a willie. What a.
So he basically let me go ahead and get out of here. He's like,
Popped a
I'm done
willie?
with this situation.
And as part of your suit, you are suing for damages, $3,632.
Basically,
And it says here, you now have to rely on the bus and sometimes rental cars, $229. I can't do simple tasks like grocery shopping, costing me $2,080 on food delivery. You don't look that big. Do you have receipts for this?
yes.
Whoa.
So yeah.
533 on Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Wendy's $249, Denny's $174. That sounds like a bargain. You're having him pay for all your other meals.
Anything that I have to use to receive food to feed myself, that's what I'm charging him for.
All right. These are some observations I'm having here. You said the roads were very moist.
Yes, because there was fog. On the road.
Moist? Oh. Okay.
Oh my God.
The roads were wet.
Yep.
Moist.
Okay.
Moist.
If the conditions of the road are such, if the police are over there, they'll say, who hit whom? You've got to be able to stop the car. That's why usually the car that hits the other one is the one that gets a ticket. You should have been more careful in turning. I am not going to give you $5,000 because you should have stopped. But you got to look a little bit too. So I'm going to rule for the plaintiff in the amount of $500.
He did cause an accident because of his negligence in driving. I shouldn't have to pay for that.